Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another podcast episode number 10 of the ShowTimeShootz Podcast. Woo! We got some interesting updates from WWE and also from myself. So, without further ado, let's get into today's episode.
Showtime shot this.
So, with the first update, I have a film. I have two projects. If you're listening to the audio version of this show, I have two projects. I have one movie that I'm working on currently. It's called Fragments. If you guys can see the camera, if you're watching a video or version of the podcast episode, you guys see a script called Fragments. And then you have another script called Sketches of Us right here. This is titled Sketches of Us, you know what I'm saying? And so we're working on two features. One is already written and one is currently in writing. I want to be able to shoot Sketches of Us the following year of next year, 2027. I'm currently saving up for that, and I have a GoFundMe up right now. So link in my bio for that if you guys want to donate and help out the cause for these two movies. So with this podcast, we're doing a little bit of revamping. If you listen to the show or watch the show on YouTube, you have probably already seen that I have changed the logo for the podcast itself. It is a brand new logo. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Canva. Made that on Canva, you know. We are working on some rebranding this summer. I'm going to attempt to make weekly episodes every Tuesday for the ShowTimeShootz Podcast. And going forward for the remainder of this year, that's the plan for this summer and the rest of this year. Every Tuesday, you'll hear a podcast episode. I'm recording this on Friday, so you'll be hearing this the day after Monday Night Raw, and then I'll have my predictions video. This next week is a bit hectic. I'm sorry for cutting off my own self, but next week is a bit chaotic, so I'm going to tell you my plan for that right now. If I look into May here, so next week, Monday, you'll be hearing this on Monday. Tuesday, we're doing this a little bit. How do I say this? We're doing it a little bit different for next week because next week we have a lot of shit going on. So next week, Monday, I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm sorry for cursing. But Monday, I'm dropping this podcast episode. So you're hearing this on Friday. SmackDown is tonight at 8. So you'll be hearing this on Monday morning at 10 a.m. Be on the lookout for that. Yeet. And then on Wednesday, we'll have my predictions video for Backlash. And then we'll have my full show review will probably be on Sunday after Backlash because Saturday, I'm going to an AEW show. It's called Road to Hell, something like that. Something with Collision on a Saturday in West Palm Beach, so I'll be going to that. And then I'll have the full show review for you guys up and running on Sunday afternoon or Monday morning, depending on the day, depending on how stuff goes. Backlash full show review will probably drop on Monday, and then we'll have a episode on Tuesday for the podcast, obviously, for the 12th, and then so on and so forth. So Monday is the only day that I will have the podcast episode up on that day, and then every week following after that, we'll have a episode on Tuesday. So without further ado, that is the updates for the podcast over the summer. I want to grow this podcast over the summer so I can build myself up and help myself out with these solo episodes besides having a co-host all the time. So I want to be able to help myself and encourage myself to speak to the camera by myself without anybody, quote unquote, carrying me, apparently. So, yeah, let's get into the topic. Let's get into the show that I have for you all today. So, the first thing that I would like to discuss is the rise of Mr. Oba Femi. He is the ruler, the conqueror, the man you cannot beat, the man that you cannot destroy, and the man you cannot kill. So, over the past few weeks, Oba Femi has been killing it. He has retired Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42. I did not have my full show review for that. I apologize. That's on me. But he has defeated Oba Femi. I mean, what? Oba Femi. A little mistake there. Oba Femi has defeated Brock Lesnar and retired Brock Lesnar as of WrestleMania 42, Night 2, for the first match of the night. Brock Lesnar is officially retired, and Oba Femi has been strapped to the moon. So, Oba Femi last week on Monday Night Raw has requested, or this week on Monday Night Raw, I should say, has requested a Oba Femi Open Challenge where anybody from the Raw SmackDown roster can come and challenge him and try to beat him. But you cannot beat Oba Femi. You cannot destroy, conquer, or overrule Oba Femi because Oba Femi is that good. Now, the Oba Femi Open Challenge. The roadmap for Oba Femi and the Oba Femi Open Challenge. So, I think that the whole reasoning behind the Oba Femi Open Challenge is to get him weekly reps every week going into the summer because May itself, we already have a stacked, it's already stacked for May for WWE. So currently for May, we have Backlash next week, Saturday. We have, what else do we have? We have Backlash this upcoming next week, Saturday. Then we have Saturday night's main event on the 23rd. And then moving on from Saturday night's main event, we have the 31st, which is Clash in Italy it's a pay-per-view for Clash in Italy the last day of May, entering June. I don't think we have any PLEs in June. I think they're going to do like weekly shows leading up to July, which I don't know what pay-per-views we'll have in July either, but I'll have to look into that. So yeah, the Oba Femi Open Challenge is to be able for him to get weekly reps in, and so his hype doesn't die down, so people could be still intrigued in Oba Femi because Oba Femi is a draw. He is the man that is on a rocket ship and he's getting sent to the moon as we speak. Oba is you can't get a lot of Oba Femis in this life. There's only one Oba Femi, and that's the ruler himself. In my humble opinion, Oba Femi is literally him. You can't stop Oba Femi. You can't kill Oba. Oba Femi is a once in a generation talent. I don't think he isn't ready for, and he's ready for everything. He's ready for anything and everything. So throw him at him. So yeah, this Oba Femi Open Challenge is a way for him to get to go on to do like match after match, feud after feud, and then see where he goes. I think if he does get his first official contender, which I hope like that could possibly be him, but we don't want him to lose, obviously. So I think the best thing for them to do is just keep letting him stacking up wins on Raw, and then let the like, how do I say this? Let somebody big come out, like a Bronson Reed or a Sheamus or a Gunther, and challenge him to the Oba Femi Open Challenge and see if they could knock off Oba. But knowing how Oba rolls, that's not happening. Excuse me. But yeah, here's the roadmap that I think Oba Femi will have due to this Open Challenge. He will knock out competitors each passing week, and like I said earlier, he's going to conquer everybody until he gets that main feud, which goes into the summer a little bit. And then after that, King of the Ring is also this summer. So I believe after King of the Ring, he will go on to qualify for King of the Ring. I think they're going to do the same thing that they did last year, or the past 2 years, which is they do this fatal 4-way tournament, and the final 2 people or 4 people in the tournament will face off in the final for a chance to fight for a chance at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Undisputed Championship. Oba Femi is going to win the King of the Ring, and he is going to get the Brock Lesnar 2002 push and let Roman Reigns go on a nice, well-deserved vacation because Roman Reigns is full-time now. If you ain't know, I'll see you all summer. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix the damn, I can't speak English. We're gonna fix the part-time issue. Cause y'all see him y'all summer. Like, Oba Femi is gearing up for an amazing summer, and which will conclude so he can face Roman Reigns at at SummerSlam, night 2, obviously. And we'll see what happens from there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, actually. Brock Lesnar's hometown. Brock Lesnar is officially retired, so he can't compete in his hometown. So, Oba, gear up, my boy. We are in here for one hell of a ride this summer. Now, let's talk about Oba Femi's first feud. Who do I think Oba Femi's first major feud is going to be with on the main roster? It could be anybody from mid-card, main card, whatever the case may be. Please not Grayson Waller, because Grayson Waller has slightly fallen off as of recent. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Oba. Oba needs somebody like Sheamus or a Gunther, perhaps, or someone that's like really contender worth of him facing. Like, for example, a Bronson Reed isn't a bad choice when picking someone to face off with Oba Femi, because Bronson Reed is big, like Big E be saying, big meaty men slapping meat. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the big guy that's not as intimidating as Oba Femi, but he's big and he could challenge Oba Femi to face him off one-on-one. He could potentially be the first person to beat Oba Femi, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think Oba Femi will be undefeated on the roster for a little minute before even getting defeated, obviously. So, Bronson Reed is a choice. Braun Breaker is also a choice. Braun Breaker versus Oba Femi. Braun Breaker isn't on top of the levels of Oba Femi, and right now Braun Breaker is facing off with Seth Rollins. I think that feud lasts until SummerSlam, but we'll see how that goes. But for the meantime, Oba, he is cooking right now. He's on a run, generational runs at that. I think he doesn't need to face Braun Breaker because he would. Even though Braun Breaker is like 5'10", 200 soaking wet. Oba Femi is a 6'6", 310 Nigerian ruler. Whoa. He's the man that nobody can beat. So, in my humble opinion, I think that he stays undefeated until, like, I don't know. I think he could say I wouldn't mind seeing Oba Femi being undefeated for the remainder of this year. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because let's say he wins King of the Ring. Let's say hypothetically he goes on, he beats all these people that challenges him in his open challenge. He beats everybody and there's no one left. And the only person left is Roman Reigns. And to get to Roman Reigns, he has to go through maybe the same amount of people that he went through when he was doing his open challenge to go on to win that tournament, King of the Ring, and go up against Roman Reigns. That's when we see if he can hang with one of the greatest of all time, which is Roman Reigns. If he loses to Roman Reigns, that's also cool because I think they're going to build him up even more because, he is Oba Femi. But I believe if the rocket is hot and is strapped, and he's already strapped and he's already going to the moon, why not put him in the King of the Ring tournament, let him beat everybody, and then go on to win King of the Ring and go on to become King Oba, and also at SummerSlam win the World Heavyweight Championship and take it off from Roman Reigns. That's genius. I think that's good. But getting off track here a little bit, his first major contenders should be Gunther, Sheamus, Bronson Reed. I need somebody else that can compete with him. Maybe let one of the luchadors, one of the Los Americanos, Rayo or somebody, let them, like Pete Dunne, or Tyler Bate, one of those two. Let them come back for one night. One night. Let them compete with Oba. I would love to see a 5-star match on Monday Night Raw. When was the last time we seen a 5-star match on Monday Night Raw? Years. I haven't seen a 5-star classic on Monday Night Raw in a while. So let's put Oba Femi over. Let's do what we have to do in order for Oba Femi to claim his throne at the top of the division on Monday Night Raw. He is the next draw. He is the money grabber. He's probably going to draw in more people like Roman Reigns did for the past 3 years. I believe that. 4.5 years. It's Oba Femi at the end of the day. Man, let me tell you. Oba is next up. But moving on to our next topic of discussion. We were talking about Roman Reigns earlier and how he is currently world champion. He's going to defend his title all the way up to SummerSlam because I believe that he will face Oba Femi at SummerSlam at night 2. But before he gets to the final boss, Oba Femi, I think and I believe that I believe that Roman Reigns has a lot of targets on his back now that he's World Heavyweight Champion. He can face off with the likes of... He's already facing off with Jacob Fatu at Backlash next week. Jacob Fatu, Gunther. I'm gonna name them off the top of my head. Penta could be a good one. Gunther, Bronson Reed again. Who else is a contender for him? Somebody. I need somebody else. Some NXT call up could come up and face him off. Who else we got? We got a lot of people. Rusev could be one of them. There's not a lot of people on Raw now that I think about it that could face off with Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins. Oh, give me Seth versus Roman again, please. Oh my gosh, I would love that match. Please, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. I don't care what PLE it is. Give it to me. I need it. Pause. I need it. Like, that would feed generations. We never seen Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns one-on-one at a WrestleMania. So what if Roman Reigns keeps the belt and then he goes on to WrestleMania to face Seth Rollins? That would be fire. That would be awesome. But then again, I feel like we've seen that already, though. But it's like, I want to see something fresh. And that something fresh is Oba Femi. And Oba Femi has the rocket, so why not push him to the moon? We don't have a PLE in June. But we're probably going to be building up towards King of the Ring in July. So within that time frame, Roman Reigns needs somebody else after Jacob Fatu. Gunther could be a possibility. Oba Femi, Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. Who else we got? Shit, throw Logan Paul in there if you have to. Joe Hendry just got called up to the main roster. Ethan Page, Javon Evans. Who else? We got Penta. Penta versus Roman Reigns. Imagine, oh my Lord, I don't know how would they pull this off. But imagine, like, I don't even know how they pull this off. You know how Seth goes for that pedigree from a spear into a pedigree? But imagine if Penta did that, but with the Mexican Destroyer. Oh, mwah, muy fucking bien. Oh my Lord, that would be peak. That would be good. I would love to see that. Give me the Javon versus Roman. Javon think he ready for the big leagues, and he not really ready for the big leagues. He hasn't won the IC title yet. Boom, there you go. He thinks he's stepping up to Roman Reigns. He steps up to Roman Reigns and be like, yo, I'm tired of all this talking, Oos, you know what I'm saying? But I'm coming for the, you know what I'm saying? I think it'll be a good way to show that Roman Reigns, he's not good. Obviously, Roman Reigns ain't losing to no Javon Evans this early in his championship reign. But just imagine if Javon Evans were to win that world championship, and how would that help him going forward, you know? But it's just a thought. I don't think he's doing it. But give me Javon versus Roman. Give me Penta versus Roman. Give me Seth, Braun Breaker, Oba Femi, Gunther, Bronson Reed. Anybody that breathes and lives. Joe Hendry of all people. Ethan Page. Ooh, Ethan Page could be another good one. My co-host Ricketts, he was like, Ethan Page is like a Miz plus, like a premium package of Miz. But I'm like, Ethan Page is very talented. He could do it all. So can The Miz. The Miz could play his comedy role. He could play a good, mean um, heel. He could be a good babyface. Ethan Page could fit all categories. But I think right now Ethan Page belongs in the Intercontinental title division so that he could eventually win it. And probably Javon could win it above him and take it his belt, if that makes sense. Javon Evans versus Ethan Page at SummerSlam wouldn't be bad. I'm not going to lie to you. That's just me. Ricky Saints just got called up to the main roster. He's going on SmackDown. Also, alongside with Blake Monroe, JC Jane got a huge pop. Sol Ruka is on Monday Night Raw. Oba Femi's on Monday Night Raw. Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Shirk Williams is on SmackDown. There's a lot of good possibilities. WWE is set for the next 10 plus years because of these generational talent. When I saw Sol Ruka versus Liv Morgan, man oh man, yo, when I saw Sol Ruka versus Liv Morgan, she completely stepped. Like, Liv Morgan couldn't even do much against Sol Ruka, if I'm being honest. Barely any offense was put in by Liv Morgan, but she still ended up getting the win. Sol Ruka looked like a star. She was moving so fast inside that ring. My goodness. Wow. Crazy. Zarya, I think, is getting called up to the Raw roster as well, but I'm not too sure because Sol Ruka's on Raw. And I hope that Zarya gets a main roster rub and gets put on the main roster. But yeah, I got sidetracked a lot. I'm sorry. Before going back into the Roman Reigns thing, I wanted to talk about Ricky Saints and how he's gonna debut on SmackDown tonight. I think Ricky Saints is gonna be a phenomenal addition to the SmackDown roster. Beautiful. He's going to be good. I promise you, he is going to be great. Great. Hold on. But yeah, let's talk about Roman Reigns. Ricky Saints. Ooh, before I finish that, I think Ricky Saints should be going up against Cody Rhodes his first feud. Book it. Let Randy take some time off. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't won 15 yet, but I'm pretty sure in the summer we're gonna have Randy Orton winning 15-time world champion. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. That's what I believe. Ricky Saints versus Cody Rhodes, book it. Ethan Page winning the IC title, book it. Oba Femi winning King of the Ring, book it. Book all of that shit. I need it. It fuels my fire. And please, can we fire Logan Paul? Paul. Can we fire Logan Paul? Sing it with me. Like, come on, bruh. It's Logan fucking Paul. Get the man out of there. I'm joking. Logan is extremely talented. I love Logan Paul. But anyways, moving on to this Roman Reigns segue. I got sidetracked a lot. I apologize. Yeah, I think if we do this properly, Roman Reigns should have a good set of feuds going into the summer. Oba Femi obviously being the final boss, in a sense. And I think Roman Reigns should take some time off after taking that L to Oba Femi. But that'll be fire. But anyways, let's focus on Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns as of right now. Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns. Now, for the past 2 weeks, last Monday night on Raw, Jacob Fatu hit a Tongan death grip on Roman Reigns to solidify that it will be Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Now, Jacob Fatu being the first opponent for this match means that they're probably going to run back the Bloodline yet again because the Bloodline was feeding families from the 2020 to the 2024 era, and now we're here. Now we're here. We're in 2026. Roman Reigns hasn't won a championship belt up until WrestleMania 42. The last time he held a belt. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I'm probably tired as hell. But the last time he won a match was at WrestleMania. No, the last time he was a champion going into WrestleMania was WrestleMania 40. WrestleMania 41, he had a triple threat match between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And now he's facing off with someone of the likes of Jacob Fatu. The man went from EBT to WWE. You know what I'm saying? Get with the program and get left. If you're not with the Jacob Fatu run and roll right now, you better get in line. Because Jacob Fatu's coming for that ass. Pause. He is coming. He just beat Drew at WrestleMania, and now he wants a World Heavyweight Championship match. And he got that WrestleMania World Heavyweight Championship match at Backlash against the OTC1 Roman Reigns. Now, he hit a Tongan death grip on Roman Reigns to set up Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. I believe that this match should be an amazing match because we all know Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns, they can go in the ring, out the ring, they can go. They can fight, they can wrestle. They could wrestle their way into a good-ass WWE style match. They don't have to do no bloodline rules. They don't have to do no interference match or anything like that. They don't have to use weapons. They don't have to use candlesticks tables, announce tables, all that. They don't have to use that. We can have a clean one-on-one match against Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, and that match will bang the roof off this place. Backlash Tampa, of all places. Like, come on. Roman Reigns is from Pensacola. That's a couple hours away. You know what I'm saying? Florida boy Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. You know what I'm saying? Cali man, Jacob Fatu. I think that match is going to be really fucking... I'm going to watch that match once I get back from that AEW show that I got on May 9th. But that match should be the greatest match on the Backlash card this year. I hope they don't do Backlash like they did WWE WrestleMania 42, where it was just an ad fest on ad fest on ad fest on ad fest on ad fest. That shit was bad. We had 8-minute matches. It was just all around terrible. But Roman Reigns officially had his first 5-star match in WWE ever against a man named CM Punk. Roman Reigns is making that title relevant again. He is going full-time for a reason. We want to see all the feuds possible. I think after Jacob Fatu's done, he should go after Roman Reigns should go. Gunther should be the one, the career killer himself. The man that Paul Heyman owes a favor to that we still don't know the favor of. Let's let Gunther and Roman Reigns face off either at Saturday night's main event or Italy. I don't know who that idiot. I said idiot. I don't know who Roman Reigns is going to face at the end of the month in Italy, but my God, that ovation is going to be something crazy. International crowds are always good. Backlash Puerto Rico, prime example. We had 2 backlashes back to back that was so peak. We had France and we had Backlash France and then we had Backlash Puerto Rico, and those 2 were peak. I think WWE is going to be on another roll again this year with Backlash, but we're in Tampa, so I don't know how loud the Tampa crowd is going to get, but I hope it's really fucking good. Please. And you see how crazy it is that we have 2 Florida shows for different wrestling companies in AEW and WWE? Crazy work, right? One is in West Palm and one is in Tampa. That's crazy. But anyways, I think Roman Reigns should get the upper hand on Jacob Fatu going forward into the match. This feud is going to bang, and I cannot wait for Backlash next week Saturday to see if Jacob Fatu has the guts to either step up to Roman Reigns and beat him or be forced to acknowledge the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. But yeah. Anyways, so You guys all know I'm making a movie this summer, or not this summer. You guys know I'm trying to make a movie this upcoming year, in 2027. This movie is titled Sketches of Us, where it follows five rebellious filmmakers, college filmmakers, that are trying to make their club prevent their club from being shut down. They must battle adversity, a lot of self perseverance, and beating the authority the proper way to make sure that they get their way and their film club doesn't get shut down. Sketches of Us will be coming to you in local theaters on YouTube, Amazon Music, or I say Amazon Music, Amazon Video, Disney Plus, or anything of that nature. So please, if you would like to support this movie that I currently want to make, please go down in the link below and donate to the GoFundMe. Now, let's get you back to the video. Now, this Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu feud. This is the last thing I'm going to say. After Jacob Fatu loses to Roman Reigns, I think he should join Jimmy and Jay with Roman Reigns. But I also believe that Jacob Fatu should be his own man going forward, because we ain't just bring him up to Monday Night Raw for no reason. SmackDown just lost a heavy hit. So let's bring him up to Monday Night Raw and see what we need. And see what we could do with Jacob Fatu. Because after that, what is he going to do? IC title feud, maybe? Potentially? But there's not a lot of things that Jacob Fatu could do on his own. But I think he'll be better if he gets more opportunities if he joins the Bloodline. But I think it's a 50-50 split down the line. I think those things could be equalized if done properly. And, yeah. That's pretty much it. That's all I have for the Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu feud. Now, let's get into the SummerSlam. The Backlash. This is my early predictions because we only have 3 matches confirmed going into Backlash next week, Saturday. I didn't talk about the OTC roadmap. I forgot about that. Well, I think I did. I think the roadmap after Jacob Fatu is Gunther. Then after Gunther should be Bronson Reed, then Braun Breaker, then eventually Seth down the line. And then after Seth, we should be able to shift our focus onto Oba Femi being the final boss. I think Roman Reigns is going to have at least 3 to 4 feuds this summer, if I'm not mistaken. But we will see. The summer has, 3 months? We started summer. WWE really started summer this month, entering June and then July and then August. But we'll see. But that's the roadmap that I have for Roman Reigns so far. Gunther, Oba Femi, Javon Evans potentially, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Ethan Page, all of that. Give me all of those feuds, and he'll make it work because he is the OTC. So, moving on to my Backlash early predictions here on the episode 10 of the ShowTimeShootz Podcast. Now, what did I write down here? Oh, Backlash early predictions. So, 3 matches that we have confirmed for Backlash this next week, Saturday, is Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker in a singles feud, and Asuka versus Io Sky. The thing that sucks for this Io Sky and Asuka feud, I'll go with this feud first and move on up in the card. I think that it's missing Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane is gone for the time, not for the time being, but she has been released from WWE alongside with everybody else that has been released. The whole Y6 got packed up and sent home because they got released. But it's sad because it's like they didn't have that. I think WWE let the run of the Y6 die because they've been feuding with the MFTs for 7 months. And there's no progression out of that. So that's why. But Kairi Sane really threw me off guard alongside with Zelina Vega and Aleister Black. But yeah, those that shit threw me the fuck off. And I read today on Twitter that the only reason why they released all these people is because they're trying to make a younger roster, which makes sense. But there's only so much young people that you could put up on the main roster. This is why I feel like we need a draft. But before we even get to the whole draft thing, let me talk about this Backlash predictions. This feud is missing Kyrie Sane so much. Like this this feud is in dire need of Kyrie Sane. Imagine if Kyrie Sane pulls an R-Truth this next week Saturday and it's like, oh, I'm back, comes up in a Hildy figure, attacks Asuka from behind. And then Kyrie Sane is tired of this picking back and forth between Io and Asuka, and then she attacks Asuka, and then we get a huge pop in Tampa. That would be fire. But due to Kyrie Sane being released, some bullshit, we can't have that. So we're going to have a clean match, Io Sky versus Asuka. This match is going to be a banger with or without Kyrie Sane. And I think Io Sky is going to beat Asuka and move on to her next big thing. I don't know what her next big thing is, but I would hope it would be for a Women's World Heavyweight Championship going forward. But yeah, who's the Women's World Champion right now? Let's see. Damn, who's the Women's World? Oh, Liv Morgan. That would be fire. Io Sky versus Liv Morgan for the championship. And if Io Sky win Queen of the Ring, that would be fire. Io Sky versus Liv Morgan at the end of the summer. Oh, feed me cinema. But yeah, moving on to our next match, we have Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker going off in a one-on-one match. I don't think Braun Breaker wins here. I think Seth Rollins takes the win just to show to Braun Breaker that Braun isn't ready to hold that grasp of being the top guy yet. So I think Seth Rollins is going to show him a lesson and beat him at Backlash so that we could continue this feud over the summer. And I think that Braun Breaker is going to attack him after the match as well to see where that goes. That probably is going to go to Saturday night's main event and is probably going to flesh out all the way to SummerSlam, which I hope not, because we have Clash in Italy at the end of the month, and then we have King of the Ring, and then we have so much wrestling going on this summer. I just want Braun Breaker to finish this feud with Seth, probably go 2-1 against him, move on to the next thing, which could possibly be King of the Ring, and where in the finals he could possibly face Oba Femi. That would be fire. Oh, Oba Femi versus Braun Breaker. Oh my lord. But obviously we know Oba Femi's gonna win that match. But yeah. Moving on to our last match on the PLE card for Backlash, we have the man that we call Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will obviously beat Jacob Fatu and go on to his next challenger, which will possibly be Gunther. I would love for it to be Oba Femi versus Gunther within Oba's first major feud, but I would dig a Gunther versus Roman Reigns match because we never seen it. We saw a little preview of it at the end of the Royal Rumble earlier this year, but Gunther versus Roman Reigns would be a fire ass match. I can't even lie to you. That match would be good as fuck. But yeah, that is my early predictions for the Backlash predictions. Before wrapping this up, the Roman Reigns Jacob Fatu feud. Okay. So when Jacob Fatu hit the Tongan death grip on him last week, or this past Monday night on Raw, I think that set up Jacob Fatu to turn heel, in a sense, because he wants that title and he wants the right and the responsibility of holding that World Heavyweight Championship. You know what I'm saying? Because it is Jacob Fatu at the end of the day. Yarami. So I don't know where it goes from here after this match, but I believe this feud can flesh out until Saturday night's main event, so that Roman Reigns could have somebody to face in Italy instead of Jacob Fatu. Even though I think if they do a 3-part series, Roman Reigns is winning all 3 matches, obviously, because Roman Reigns should not be dropping the belt as early as SummerSlam, if I'm being honest. But I think this will be a good way to showcase Jacob Fatu and show him that he can hang with the big dogs in this company. But yeah, I think that's all my thoughts for the Jacob Fatu and the Roman Reigns feud for now. Moving on to the last segment of my show, which is the conclusion of the show. So to wrap everything up with all the information that you guys need to know so far as for this podcast series going forward, I will have a couple more solo podcasts this month, and I'll probably have my co-host back in this room or the studio probably in a couple of weeks, probably at the end of May, depending on how big this Italy card should be, which I hope is pretty big. I'll be running a couple solo episodes going forward, trying to hit an hour or 30 minutes or 45 minutes will do, 50 minutes will do. But yeah, every Tuesday going forward for this rest of this month, entering June and the rest of the summer and the rest of the year, we will be doing podcast episodes dropping every Tuesday. We'll probably be recorded before Raw the week prior. I mean, we'll be recorded the week after, the couple days after Raw is finished, so I got my full thoughts and all that jazz. The full show reviews and predictions will be out and about soon. The predictions for Backlash will be out next week. Full show review will be out after Backlash is fully over. It shouldn't be dropping the same day, but it will drop the day after, and then shorts alongside that. So the ShowTimeShootz Podcast is on a weekly grind with the full show reviews, the predictions. This month alone, I think I'm dropping at least 6 or 7 videos off the top of my head, but I'm not too sure. And we're also continuing my scripts. If you guys can see, if you guys are watching on the video version on YouTube of this, holding up 2 of my best projects. Let me clip my microphone somewhere so you guys could, you know what I'm saying. These 2 right here, this right here, these 2 scripts right here, they're probably gonna change my life for the good. If written properly and the stories for both of them are beautiful, we're gonna have an amazing 2027, and we're gonna have an amazing end to 2026 as well. But yeah, thank you all for being here with me on this journey of life. Welcome back to the ShowTimeShootz Podcast. Thank you all for stopping by. I will see you guys next week for another Tuesday episode. We will see what happens on Raw before, and we'll go on from there. But in the meantime, we have the predictions and the full show review dropping next week. And yeah, thank you all for stopping by on this wonderful episode of the ShowTimeShootz Podcast. Be sure to listen on Spotify, follow on Spotify, leave a comment on YouTube and Spotify, leave a like on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the ShowTimeShootz Podcast. It's been your boy Jason, aka ShowTimeShootz, and your boy is officially signing off. Later, bye.